how to record vocals into FL Studio 11, and we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right to it. So what you want to do is you want to open up FL Studio 11. Well, I have 10 here, but I'm about to update to 11. Version 11 hasn't really done much difference, so it's I forgot to upgrade. But anyhow, you would do this on version 11 as well. So FL Studio 11 it is version 10. It is what it is. The same shit. Okay, so here we go. What you would do to start, you're on your clear, clean canvas. You want to go to your mixer. That is not the mixer. Sorry about that. Yep. Go to the mixer. This is that icon for the mixer. And I'm gonna go ahead and make it to where it'll fit y'all screen, because I'm assuming y'all don't have a big screen. Okay. And what you would do on the master is you would put two fruity limiters. So you place it one in last in the chain and one second in last of the chain. Let me do that right quick. Alright, and after that, you know, this just kind of helps get a little bass going right here, so just leave that be. Alright, the next thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and pick any mixer track. It don't have to be the Sends, any mixer track. So we'll choose 15. Alright, mixer track 15, press F2. We're going to name this process. The reason we name it process is because all the pre-computed effects to the vocals from the mic, whatever mic you using via USB or XLR, will feed into process where all your vocal effects will be processed. That way you're just borrowing the CPU. So name that process. After we name this process, we want to go ahead and set our effects for process. And what you want to do is you go ahead and select first in the chain for process, and you get a plugin called G-Gate. G-Gate is a freeware plugin. Look it up on Google, you'll find it. It's a free plugin, G-Gate. And what you want to do is you want to set the thresh to -15. Not 15, excuse me, -50. The thresh to -50. Now you can play with the thresh, the fade and attack all you want, but I normally just leave the fade and attack alone, and I set the thresh to -50. Okay, and after you do that, you go second in the chain on process, and you go to Fruity Compressor. Now what I normally do, I do about a threshold of 20. That way, right when it hits 20, the dB meter, that's when the effects start kicking in. And on the ratio, I do about a 10-to-1 ratio. Now you can play with this, you know, all you want. Now, and I set the gain about 15. So I set it to about 15, all that good stuff, and that's how you would do it. Now your gain will vary depending on your artist. Your artists, if they're a loud artist, you would probably turn the gain down about 12 to 15. If they're a lower artist, about 18, 20-ish. It also depends how close they are to the pop filter, how close you have your pop filter to the actual mic Corlin pattern. It just depends on the mic itself as well. But you know, you just have to experiment with your mic and see how far you want your pop filter to be away from the actual mic itself. 4 to 6 inches is a reasonable distance. And another rule of thumb is to have your artists have their mouth as close to the pop filter as possible. And you just got to test it out. Depending on your mic, you may have to make that pop filter maybe 7 inches away from the actual mic itself, or 4 inches away. It just depends on your mic. So let's get right to it. Okay, so that's your rough setup. A thresh of 19 to 19.9, give or take. A ratio of 10-to-1, give or take. And your gain you mess with depending on your artist, but 15 is what I normally start with, but 15 to 18 on gain, 15 to 18 dB. Okay, now you're done. Now you're done right here for the gate and Fruity Compressor. Next, what you want to do is you want to route process to another mixer track. So next to process, we're going to go ahead and name insert 14 landing. So we highlight it on that. Press F12 or F2, not F12, F2, excuse me, and I'm going to name it landing. Now you can name it whatever you want. I say process landing for a reason. Process is the pre-computed effects. Landing is where everything's going to route from process to landing. Now to route process to landing, what you want to do is you see first highlight process. Now you see where they got this icon right here. It's an arrow like pointing up. What you want to do is you want to left click that, and now it made it to where process is routed to landing. But after you do this, now you got to take process off of the master itself, okay? Because you don't want to be routed to process and master, or it's going to make it to where it's clashing with the pre-computed effects and all that good stuff. Just take my word for it. So now that we got process routed to landing, you want to unroute it from master. So what you do is you go to this icon, left click it, it takes it off. Okay, now we're set right here and right here. Now here's landing. Now that we know we got landing set in there, now you want to be able to drop the beat in. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right quick. We're gonna go ahead and make a little test folder. So you go out into your desktop area, right click, make a new folder, and we're gonna go ahead and make a new folder, name it test, because this is for test reasons. We're testing that folder. And say you pulled a beat off the internet, or you made a beat through FL Studio, whatever the case may be. We're gonna use this always drama track like it's a beat or something. We're gonna drag and drop it in there. Okay, and you open your folder up. All right, now this is our folder. We got our entire deal going in. This is where we're gonna save everything. We're gonna save the project folder into this and everything. Now in this folder itself, you wanna drop the beat in. Just by simple drag and drop. It's that easy with FL Studio. It's that easy. And we're going to act like this is the beat, okay? And you want to also make sure that you always have it set to song mode. That way on your record and playback, it'll all play. You press play, you hear it. It plays the beat, all that good stuff. We're not going to even really play the beat much, but now we got that going on. Okay, now that we have our beat in place, you want to go ahead and save the file. The actual file itself, excuse me, this keeps jumbling up on me. Let me fix this right quick. It's really aggravating. Just give me 1 second, my people. I'm sure there's a way to lock this, but I don't quite know how, so just bear with me. Okay, right there. Right here. Move this right here. It does it every time I make the window small and all that, but I'm gonna have to do it several times to show y'all. Anyhow, okay. Now the next thing we want to do, you want to save this file project that we just set with all the process and landing and the rerouting of everything. Okay, so what we got to do is we're gonna go ahead and file, save as, and what you want to do is you want to find the folder we made. So in this case, it's folder. We go to folder that is the test folder. So test folder, you click on test folder, and then you would name simply test. And bam, that's it. So we named our little project folder. Now when you go to the actual folder that we made, you see that it's in the folder test. It's in test folder. Bam. Okay. So now it's as simple as what we just saved right here. It's as simple as just double click on this, and all this will load up that we just made on this set. Okay. So let me go ahead and make it all big again. Now the next thing you want to do is arm the track. Now to arm the track, you go back to this icon right here, the mixer. And now we have everything routed to landing. Now landing is where we'll arm the track, where everything stays organized. So what you do is you go to this floppy disk icon right here. You right click over that. When you right click over that, you have to go to where the directory is, which is, in this case, is our test folder. So we go to desktop, find the test folder. Here's our test folder. Click on that, and as you can see, it already named it test landing. Bam, it's saved. Boom, that's it. Now that we have the track armed and we have our mic input on process, let me get into a little detail on the mic input on process. Okay. Now right now I can't do a full-on show on how to do this right here because it's not going to let me click on this because it says none. All right, but we're going to act like that we're set to the either ACO driver or whatever interface ACO driver you have. So you would click on this. It would do a drop box of what driver you have, what mic you're using. And you would click on that. In this case, we are going to pretend that you're using a USB mic on audio settings, and you would go to ACO for all. But if I click on that, it's going to ruin this tutorial. I don't want to do that. So we're gonna just pretend we're on our ACO for all driver, and that we're able to choose what we're doing and go ahead and pick it. So you got to make sure that this N on process, the input is set to whatever mic you're using. Okay. Alright, so that's how we will know that everything will feed through. Alright, so and what you do is you go to landing. Now we already did the directory for that. Now we're going to start recording. Alright, so what we do, before you even start recording, what I like to do is I like to right click over this record button and make sure that our audio is checked. In this case, when y'all check to see if it's recording, it's probably going to have automation score and audio check. I like to uncheck the automation and score. That way, while you're recording, you can mess with all these parameters and it will not record the automation. If you don't know what I'm talking about with automation, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you have your audio checked, and make sure these are unchecked. And in order to do that, you would simply hover over it and left click, and it makes it checked, and you just right click over it again and just left click over it again, and it unchecks it. Same with score. Okay, so let's go ahead and record. So now it's recording, ready to go. Now we're going to see if we can get any data recorded in. I'm going to go ahead and press spacebar. Okay, now it recorded something. Now what it did, this folder, in order to zoom in and out, you can just hover over this little area with the numbers, or in this case it's called bars, and you can use your scroll wheel on your mouse, and it just kind of zooms in. Now there's no wave data here, but it did record wave data. It's just nothing. Just give y'all an idea of what's going on. Now you can actually see this recorded into the folder when I go to the folder itself. Now you see it says test landing 1. That means it recorded in, so that's a good thing. We got it recorded in. And to click to the actual waveform, we're gonna act like it's a waveform. You would just double click on it, and it brings up this little parameter here where you can route it to any FX track you want, or you can control pan, volume, pitch, all that good stuff. Now say you didn't want to take this take. All you simply have to do is hold control. While holding control, press Z. In this case, it's not doing it how I want it to do. Okay, let's see. Hold control, press C. Now, if it don't take it away, that means I did a process more than that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do this again. If it don't erase doing it that way, go to Edit, go to Undo, Move Playlist Move. That's why I did it, because I did a playlist move. Go to Edit again, Undo recorded stuff, and you press OK to that. Now, this is what I meant by, like, say you went too many over recording. That's how you would do it with the edit. We're gonna do it again. Okay, we don't want that take. Okay, so hold control. While holding control, press Z, and it'll ask you to test landing. This last recorded audio file is about to be deleted, and it's already highlighted on OK. You just simply gotta press Enter. So it's as simple as hold control while holding control, press Z, hit Enter, and before you know it, it'll just become a fluid motion. So now you know how to do that. Okay, so now we got that set. We're ready to go on recording. Alright, now there will be an instance where you exit the program, or your program fucks up and you have to end task, or whatever the case may be. We're gonna pretend that it froze up on us. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to go about fixing that if that happens. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and save, and to save the project you would hold control. While holding control, press S. It saves the project to test. Alright, oh shit, our shit froze up. Okay, and this is what you would do to fix that. What you would do is you would hold control, and not that. What you would do is you hold Alt down and Control down, and while holding Alt and Control down, you would press Delete, and it would bring up the Task Manager. Here's your Task Manager. What you do is you go to Process. You find where FL Studio is. In this case, it would be called FL.exe32. You click on that, End Process. Then you would end Process, and bam. I normally like to keep this Task Manager open and let it zoom down. Now we still got a folder here. All you gotta do is double click on test, and it loads everything back up the way we set it. Okay, and that's how you would fix it if your shit freezes up on you, or fucks up, or you mess up on some kind of stretch. Okay, so now we're moving on. Another important note: when you're recording, make sure that when you click on this icon right here, that only the 0 cross is highlighted and not stretch. You do not want stretch to look like that. You want it to not look like that. Okay? Big rule of thumb. Okay? You can, and when you do that, you want to also make sure that you're always on this pencil icon. Always make sure you're always on this pencil icon. Okay? Because when you're on this pencil icon and you got it just on 0 stretch or 0 cross and not on stretch, you can do something called a slide edit. And this is what a slide edit is. You can do this. What you would do is you would hover over either the end or beginning of the audio clip. And you see how that little left right icon shows up? Well, when that happens, you hold left click down. While holding left click down, you can slide edit away data. Just like that. Okay, and another thing that you also want to always make sure you're doing while recording vocals is to make sure this right here, the snap, is set to none, not line. Line is for beats and shit. If you're making beats, fuck with line. When you're doing vocals, leave it at none. Okay? Now, we already know we could do slide edits on both ends of the clip. Just like that. That way when you go into a wave and say we record a wave, let me do another example. Another thing before I show you this example. You remember how we pretended that it fucked up, say it messed up on us and all that? You have to rearm the track again. Okay? So let's do that before I show you this other thing. Okay, so every time you restart the program, whether it fucks up or you save it and exit, you go back to the mixer. After you reopen the track, you go back to landing. You have to right click over that floppy disk icon again. You have to go to desktop and go back to that folder, whatever directory you made it in. You left click, and in this case it would have did test landing too. What I normally do, I'll erase and I'll name it like session 2. That way, every time you exit and then reopen the project, you just rename it the next session over. That way, everything stays organized on every session. Okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and record in, and I'm going to show you something when we record, like, pretend wave data, quote unquote. We're going to pretend. Okay? So here we go. We're going to record, and, you know, audio is already checked, so we're going to record. Okay. We got that in right there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get right here. When you point your mouse right here and you use your scroll wheel, scroll up and it zooms right on in. And you got this little bar you can move left and right, and you just do that a little bit. You can also make the waves bigger or smaller by, you hover over the little border between the tracks. You'll see an up down icon, just like with the slide edits left right, and you just move like according by holding left down and moving up or down. Okay, now we're going to pretend it's a wave. We're going to make big. Now say you mess up on a wave, or say you had excess on the beginning or end of the wave. That's where the slide edit comes in, like I showed you already. You would just go, making sure that the stretch isn't highlighted, making sure it's on 0 cross, and you just hover over it like this and hold left down, and you just zoom away that excess, or zoom away the excess at the very end or the beginning. It just depends. Say they cough or they say something retarded or whatever. And you can also use the slicer tool icon to slice away a certain part and move away, bring it closer. You can use the slicer tool to do a lot of cool little neat tricks. There's also another neat trick I want to show y'all. Okay, another neat trick I want to show y'all. I'm gonna do it with the wave. All right. So we're going to pretend that this wave is vocal takes. We're going to go ahead, and we're already on a slicer tool. We're going to slice right here, and we're going to slice right here, and we're going to go back to the pencil tool. We're going to we're going to just move this wave down here so we can visually see what's going on. All right, we're going to hover over right in this to the point. We're going to scroll, do the scroll wheel up, and we're zoomed in. Now, this being cut away from this, it's still all the same. It's still all the same wave data deal. Now, here's a neat little trick you can do to do really cool tricks on wave takes of vocal takes. What you would do first is you go on the clip that you cut away, but it's all still part of the same. It's all one entity. It's still all one entity, or all the same thing still. To make it separate from itself, you would click right here, and you would go to Make Unique. And what that did, it separated it from itself. It separated it from this main little deal right here. Okay? And it made it unique from that. So now it's 2 entities of Always Drama to this little wave cut. And then what you would do, here's a cool little neat trick. Y'all gonna love it. Double click on the wave itself. Okay? This will pop up. When this pops up, click Resample. Click on that Resample drop box. Go to Auto. Click Auto. Alright, and this is where the stretch this is where you can use the stretch now to your advantage. Okay, you would highlight stretch. It's important that you make it unique from all the other takes, because you can mess something up. You really can mess something up and not mean it. Okay, now that the stretch is highlighted, watch this. We're going to play the original wave of this. So all you got to do is click on that part of this little black part right here. Click right there and hit spacebar or play, whatever you want to press, to hear what it sounds like right now.
For the most part.
Okay, now you hear how it sounds like that? What we have already set on stretch. Now you go to the left right icon. It stretches the wave. But what auto did, it preserved the pitch. That's what it did. So now it's going to go ahead and process the stretch. Just give it a minute. Okay. Now what it did, it altered it. Alright, now watch what it sounds like. Now you hear I did it, like it slowed it down. It slowed it down but preserved the pitch. Just like that. Now, you know, now let me make it longer so we can I'm gonna still mess with this unique entity. But first we're gonna slide edit away this. But before you slide edit, you have to undo the stretch. Because if you don't, you will screw up what you're working on. It's important to undo the stretch for the slide edit. And then all you do is wait for it to go over, hit that left right icon, and just slide edit away. Now you can do the same for this. Slide edit it back. Are y'all with me so far? Slide edit this away, slide edit this back. Now listen.
For the most part, but that's usually not always the case.
Now you want to see something tighter. Watch this, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click stretch back on. Keep in mind that this is a separate entity. Reason being because it says always drama 2 number 2, making it a separate entity from this one when you double click on this. Always drama 2. And you can do this, I mean the sky's the limit on how you can do it on FL Studio 11. Alright, now what you're going to do, or I'm going to show you what's up. Now we got it clicked back on stretch. We're going to re-stretch this separate entity down and make it sound faster, like a Micro Machine Man commercial or something. So you go to left right icon, highlight it, hold left down. Now you see the wave starts crushing down. Now we got to give it a minute, let it process. It's going to process it down. Give it a second. Boom, the characteristics of the wave have changed. Now we want to fill in where it's all missing right here. Now to do that, go to undo stretch. Important, undo stretch. Okay, now do that like slide edit kind of function, but this time it's going to bring back this stretch. Okay, left right icon showing, hold left down, slide it all back. Now listen to it when I press spacebar or play, either or. Do y'all realize the power of the make unique function and the switch the automatic function? You can fix waves this way, or people that mess up. They mess up somewhere. Say they leave the studio but they said a word too fast or too slow. You can utilize this stretch function by slowing their word down, thickening their words up, or speeding words up or down, or left, vice versa, give or take. It's really up to you. Okay, I hope I covered everything. Leave your comments in the description. I'm sure y'all gonna have comments on how to get your mic to show up on the mixer. I'm gonna figure out a way to do that for y'all, some kind of way, so y'all can actually see how that goes. Autopilot Beats saying comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next video, my friends. Peace.